Hey everybody, Andy here. Got the new 2020 KX250 sitting behind me. I only got about an hour and a half on it. I absolutely love the bike. But with a lot of my bikes, one of the things that I've gotten a lot of compliments and questions on is how I've polished the frames. One of the first things I do is get out the polish and pretty up the bike a little bit after, of course, checking all the essential stuff to make sure everything is tightened, all the fluids are good. So I thought I'd just do a quick tip, walk you guys through what I use to polish up my frames. You can see when these bikes come from the factory, they've got kind of a dull finish on the aluminum on the frame all the way around. So I'll show you a couple parts and a couple of things that I use to get that looking a lot nicer. First step you're going to want to do when you get in there is take off the shrouds and the number plates just so you can get in nice and close. Get in all the details, that way you're not leaving spots that aren't touched. And it only takes a couple minutes to do it. When I go back, after I ride, I'll come back and I'll clean it up, and most of all I'll have to clean up is this area down here because it's the only part that my knees touch. But for the initial time doing this, you want to make sure you get in there, get a nice even coating on everything. So now that we've got the plastics taken off and out of our way, we can get to the whole frame. I use these green Scotchbrite pads that I just picked up at the store. And I'll use it, just quickly hit everything, take off little imperfections and any divots in there, especially if you've ridden your bike and you're not starting from fresh, just get some of the scratches out of there. And gives you a clean surface to start with. So let's go over to the workbench for a minute. The product I use is this Mother's mag and aluminum polish. You can pick up at local auto parts stores. And what it is, it's just this white paste that you can rub on a rag and wipe it on your frame. And it doesn't take a lot of pressure, it just takes some rubbing back and forth and it'll give you a really nice shine. So what I'm using here is just some shop rags that I picked up at Menards and my Mother's polish. It doesn't take a whole lot, just take a little bit of a dab of that and we can wipe it on the frame. Now I'm not using a lot of pressure, I'm just rubbing it in there and I'm going to work a little section at a time. This is something you could probably do with a buffer. I've never tried it, I don't have one readily available to me, and this is what I know, this is what I've been doing for the last, since 2009 on my bikes. You just rub it in there and you'll see the white paste start to turn black, and that means it's working on the surface. Once you go through the effort of it initially, it's a lot easier to get it back after you've been riding it and you get the boot scuffs. So it takes a little bit of time the first time to go through everything and get it all cleaned up. And sometimes it's kind of a pain where this black doesn't like to come back off and you gotta keep working it and keep working it. But once you get down there, you'll have a really nice finish on the aluminum frames. And just for a reference shot, this is the side that I haven't done yet, where it's just the brushed aluminum. It's tinged up a little bit from my boots. I've got about an hour on this bike. And the side that I'm done, you can tell just that little bit of work makes a huge difference, and it really makes the bike, makes it pop, makes it look a lot cleaner. Another spot that you'll see me work into on mine, just to clean it up and give the bike that little extra clean factory look. It shows you that you really put the time on the bike to keep it looking nice. Is the shifter and the brake on the other side and the Kickstarter. It's little things that you don't really notice individually, but once you do the bike, all these extra little pieces that look just a little bit cleaner make it look that much better. So by the time I'm done, I'll have the frame done, I'll pull the Kickstarter out, and I'll do both sides of the Kickstarter, and I'll come down and I'll do the brake pedals. Once I get my graphics on, I'll come back down the swing arms, and I'll hit the tops of the swing arms and the back on the tops above the axle and clean it up. And another spot I like to hit is the lower frame rails right underneath of the motor. And again, it's just a bunch of little things, and once they're all done, they really add up to free up the bike. Okay, now we've got that cleaned up. Time to put our plastics back on. So I just want to say thanks for checking out the video. Again, this is just another tool for you to consider if you want to do this. This isn't the only way, of course. If you have a better way or know of other ways to do it, leave me a comment and let me know, because I'm always open to trying different things on the bike that'd be easier or more efficient. There's other stuff. Of course, we've got a brand new bike here that I'm going to be doing along the way. I had my 450 set up just the way I like it, and kind of spur of the moment traded it off on the 2020. So now I'm going to start over with a fresh bike and see what we get put into it.